You know, I really do appreciate all those kind words, but I gotta say, I think it's about time to stop playing those old games. I mean, I just picked up this new Call of Duty game, and I've gotta tell you, this is like the best game I've ever played. Yeah, I think that's about enough of that. Today we are going to talk about limit breaks. The biggest reason I wanted to talk about limits is because running through the game as a kid, I always wondered how unlocking limit breaks works. I mean, they seem to just unlock it pure random as you run through the game. And it always seemed like some characters filled up their limit bars faster than others. So sit back and relax as I answer all of those questions and more. Like, how do you spam continuous Omnislashes, and does Sephiroth himself have a limit break? But first, let's talk about what a limit break is. The original idea behind the limit break was an attack that could only be used when a character was enraged from taking damage. It was planned to be an extension of Final Fantasy VI's desperation attacks, and it was also a way for the designers to emphasize the uniqueness of each character and express their personality. For example, most of Aeris's limit breaks heal or protect, while Barrett's limit breaks are very abrupt and forceful. I won't go through every character's list of limit breaks in this video since I'm already doing that in my in-depth series, but I will say that there is a large variety from healing to dealing damage to giving buff effects to transformations, and the list goes on. Also, as a side note, every character in the game other than Cait Sith and Vincent has 7 limit breaks, adding to that long list of illusions to the number 7 in the game. Other than the main party characters, there are 2 other characters in the game that are only available during the Nibelheim flashback or through messing with the game's code, Young Cloud and Sephiroth. These 2 characters do have a limit break bar, but unfortunately no limit break. A look at their limit break lists will reveal that the game puts Vincent's and Cait Sith's limit breaks in their place as placeholders, but they're unusable. Building up the limit bar seems pretty simple. Take a hit and the limit bar fills up. But it's actually a little more complicated than that. 4 separate variables determine how far the limit bar fills up when a character takes a hit. The damage dealt, the maximum HP of the character, whether or not the character is in Fury or Sadness status, and the character's limit level, which is broken down even further into something called the limit constant. So let's create the formula one variable at a time. Let's say we have a buffed up Cloud with 9,999 HP and we are trying to use Omnislash. Our limit bar is empty, we have Fury status, and we get hit by an attack that does 3,000 damage. We'll just round that. The first thing the game does is multiply the damage by 300. 300 being a semi-arbitrary number the programmers picked as a fair increase to the limit bar once the formula is complete. We take this big number we get and divide by the character's max HP, which in this case is 9,999. We then round down to the nearest integer and multiply this number by 256, another number picked just to make the formula work with the limit constant we'll discuss in a second. This big number is then multiplied by the status multiplier, which is 2 if the character is in Fury, 0.5 if the character is in Sadness, or 1 if the character is normal. Since Cloud is in Fury, we'll multiply it by 2. And finally, to finish off the formula, we now must divide by the limit constant. The limit constant is a number picked by the programmers for every character in the game and every limit level in the game. Higher limit levels means a higher limit constant, which means level 4 limit breaks are much harder than level 1 limit breaks to build up. In fact, you could fill up 3 Bravers before you filled up a single Omnislash. In addition to limit levels, the limit constant varies for each character as well. Of course, Omnislash is the hardest limit break to build up. Oh, well actually, that's kind of interesting. Tifa's final limit break is actually the most difficult in the game to fill, and her first limit break is the easiest to fill. Anyways, for our example here, we need the limit constant for Omnislash, which is 506. So we take that big number we created before, divide that by 506, round down again, and we get our final answer of 91. Great! But what exactly does 91 mean? Well, although the limit bar doesn't look like it has a number, it's actually a range from 0 to 255. So 91 would equate to a little over 1/3 of the limit bar being filled. So in this example, if Cloud took 3000 damage, it would fill up about 1/3 of his limit bar. Using this formula, we can also understand why Fury is such an important status. Without Fury, every character in the game would die before getting their 3rd or 4th level limit breaks if they don't heal at some point. Cloud and Tifa can't even get their 2nd level limit breaks without healing. And Red 13 and Yuffie would have to lose 99.6% of their HP to get their 2nd level limit break without dying. However, with Fury, every character in the game, yes, even Tifa, can get any limit break they want without having to heal. Tifa would only be left with 6% of her health, but hey, that's worth it for Final Heaven. Yes. So now that we've talked about the limit bar, let's talk about unlocking limit breaks. What a mystery, right? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Every first limit break on a limit level takes a certain amount of kills to unlock. For example, to unlock Cloud's first 2nd level limit break, Blade Beam, he has to kill 120 enemies. And we are talking about just killing them normally, not killing them with another limit break. Every 2nd limit break in a limit level doesn't take kills, but instead requires you to use the first limit break in the level a set amount of times. For example, to unlock Clim Hazard, you have to use Blade Beam 7 times. Since Vincent and Kate Sith only have 1 limit break per limit level, they only have to get kills to unlock limit breaks, meaning you could unlock all of their limits without ever using one. To unlock limit break level 4, every character must use a special item particular to them. They also must have all other limit breaks unlocked, which can cause some trouble if a player doesn't use their limit breaks often enough. For example, if Cloud kills 320 enemies before using Blade Beam 7 times, he can skip receiving Clim Hazard and unlock Meteor Rain. If he never goes back and uses Blade Beam, he'll never unlock Clim Hazard and the Omnislash item won't work. In fact, it's possible to learn only the first limit break in each limit level if a character never uses limit breaks. All of the level 4 limit break items are pretty well hidden and will take some work to obtain. Omnislash is located in the battle square at the Golden Saucer. You can purchase it after receiving the Tiny Bronco for 51,200 BP, or you can wait until you receive the Highwind and the price will be reduced to 32,000 BP. The battle arena costs GP to enter, and if you leave the battle arena you will lose all BP you have accumulated, so you're going to want to walk in with a ton of GP to ensure that you make enough BP to buy Omnislash without having to leave. Luckily, there is an easy way to farm tons of GP. Go to the rail station after unlocking the Highwind and stand by the gate. Walk in and out of the gate until you see a man standing in the distance. This man will sell you up to 100 GP at a time for 10,000 gil. Do this a few times and you'll have plenty of GP to conquer the battle arena and buy the flashiest limit in the game. Eris's level 4 limit break, Great Gospel, is located at the weapons seller's cabin past the Gongaga reactor. Before going there, you need to visit a cave by Junon that you can reach with the buggy. It's better to get it early since, well, you know. So as soon as you get the buggy, you'll want to drive to Costa del Sol. If you drive into the town, you'll be able to take a ship across to Junon and take the buggy with you. Go to the cave and the man will tell you how many fights you've had in the game so far. When this number ends in matching odd numbers or matching zeros, talk to the man and he'll wake up and give you a mithril. Later on, when the party receives the Tiny Bronco, take the mithril to the weapons seller and he'll give you a choice to open either a small box or a large box. If you pick the large box, you'll get a crappy gold armlet, but if you pick the small box, you'll get Great Gospel. Red 13's level 4 limit break, Cosmo Memory, is acquired when you defeat Lost Number during the side quest to recruit Vincent. I have a detailed walkthrough of this side quest in my in-depth look at Vincent video, but in short, you need to go to Nibelheim Mansion, find a list of clues, which includes an invisible clue at the bottom of the list, locate 4 pieces of code using the clues, and enter the numbers as a combination into the vault upstairs. After the vault opens, Lost Number will attack, and at the end of the fight, you'll receive Cosmo Memory. Yuffie's level 4 limit break, All Creation, is received after defeating the final boss of the Pagoda Battles side quest in Yuffie's hometown, Wutai Village. Once the party completes the Stolen Materia side quest, Yuffie can fight these Pagoda Battles alone, one by one. These battles can be extremely difficult if attempted too early in the game, but there are a few things you can do to win on a very low level. Inflicting Yuffie with Sadness will cut all damage in half. Using Big Guard will help Yuffie stay healthy, and all of the bosses are susceptible to poison. Barret's level 4 limit break, Catastrophe, is located in North Coral after the huge materia train heist. Depending on how the party performs during the quest, the train will either never make it to the town, stop short of the town, or crash into the town. Regardless of the outcome, the party can visit the woman in the rundown hut afterwards and she will hand over Catastrophe. Vincent's level 4 limit break, Chaos, is found in Lucretia's cave. The cave is hidden under a waterfall that can only be accessed with the sub. If Vincent is in the party, Lucretia will appear and talk about Vincent's past. If the cave is first visited on Disc 2, the party must return on Disc 3. If the cave is first visited on Disc 3, the party must fight 10 random battles before returning. When the party does return, Vincent will find his ultimate weapon, the death penalty, and his level 4 limit break, Chaos. Tifa's level 4 limit break, Final Heaven, is located in Tifa's house in Nibelheim. The party must visit her house after Tifa's journey into Cloud's subconscious on Disc 2. With Tifa in the party, Cloud has to go into Tifa's room and play the main theme of Final Fantasy VII on her piano. To play it, you must input X, square, triangle, L1 and triangle, L1 and square, X, square, triangle, L1 and X, circle, X, square, X. Cid's level 4 limit break, Highwind, is located in the sunken Gelnika ship. It is in a chest at the bottom right hand corner of the cargo room. So now that we have all the limit breaks, how do they stack up? Well, the strongest single hit limit in the game is Yuffie's All Creation, which deals 8 times normal damage. When it comes to multiple hit limits, however, things get a bit more complicated. By basic calculation, Barret's Catastrophe is actually the strongest limit in the game, followed by Cid's Highwind, Tifa's Final Heaven, and then finally Omnislash. However, Omnislash has the special property of always hitting critical hits. So if you haven't maxed out all of the character's luck stats, Omnislash might actually hit harder than the other limits. In addition, if your characters are already maxed out and hitting for 9,999 anyways, Angerax and Highwind become the strongest limits in the game as they hit the most times. To wrap up this video, I'll talk briefly about using the mime command with limits. Most people don't know that you can actually use the mime command to copy limit breaks, but characters can only mime their own limits. For example, if Tifa tries to mime Omnislash, the limit break animation will start, but then nothing will happen. However, if Cloud uses Omnislash, and then uses mime before any other actions are taken by the party, he'll copy his Omnislash even if his limit bar isn't full. This can make for some pretty cool materia combinations, like putting 8 copies of Mime Encounter on Cloud and starting a fight with Omnislash. As soon as Cloud gets hit, he'll counter with 8 consecutive Omnislashes. So that's it for limit breaks in Final Fantasy VII. I hope you learned something, and I hope you put your newfound knowledge to good use. As for me, well, I'm about the prestige, so I guess I'll see you guys later.
Lethal.
Hey there, thanks for watching my video. But before you click away, I have some super exciting news to tell you. 11 o'clock Eastern Time on February 3rd, I'll be debuting my new live show. And to celebrate, my first stream is going to be called Let's Break Final Fantasy VII. I'll be doing crazy stuff like this, and this. But the best part is that I'll be experimenting with a bunch of different things I've never even tried before, and you'll be there to give me ideas and experience everything for the first time live. So be sure to visit our Twitch channel at 11 o'clock Eastern on February 3rd, or just jump over now and click follow, and then you'll get an alert when I go live. The link is twitch.tv/deathunitesus. I hope to see you there.